Yeah, that's right. It's back up on jack stands. I had it all back together last night. Filled it up with antifreeze. Started it and ran it, as you've seen in the previous video when I was done with it last night. Got kind of cold last night. I came down here this morning, you know, grabbed all my stuff, my GPS, my traffic camera, my jacket, you know, all my usual stuff I carry around with me. You know, brought my key, jumped in the car, checked the oil, checked the water. This is something I don't understand, is the top of this screen is black. For some reason I can't read it. And this is what we get. See the top of the screen? Let me that is showing some kind of oil pressure. And if you listen real carefully, you won't hear the, here, let me close the door so you won't hear the dinging. I'll turn the key on. No fuel pump. So there we go. No fuel pump again. Nope. So, I'm dead in the water again. There's only two things it can be. The ECM has either died or the fuel pump relay is bad. You know, I've checked the fuel pump relay like we've done through the wiring harness or at the plugs. I have 12 volts at the black. That's key power at the relay. And the red and blue is from the ECM. And it has like 3 or 4 volts when you turn it on. And like Thomas says, that's just checking for, you know, make sure it's hooked up, basically. And then when you crank it, that drops to 0 volts, or as close to 0 as possible, and it does. That works properly. But I still had no fuel pump relay. So I'm thinking it's either got to be the relay or the ECM is just taking a shit, because it's gotten so cold out. You know, it got warm last night. This thing is sitting literally, if you look out the window, my heater is sitting right there. So for 4 hours last night while I put this thing together, the heater was sitting here blowing on this thing. And it got probably pretty warm. So it ran. So I may come down here with the blow dryer and just try and warm the ECM up. But, you know, the used ECMs for these things are actually pretty cheap. So I ordered a used ECM. It won't be in here for a week, you know, because I try and order from the states, the dry states, for parts like these. So I ordered one of them from California. So I've got a used ECM coming. Tomorrow I'll go and get a fuel pump relay and just stick that in it and just see, maybe I'll get lucky with a relay. I don't know. You know, because the relay on this thing here, if it makes any sense, the relay powers a whole nother section of that relay assembly. There's a relay right here. When that relay turns on, it powers that big 337 relay, which is a whole big, I can show you what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a multifunction relay. Does several things. This big monster right here. So you'll have, this relay is like a fuel pump relay, but the one I have is a 7-pin. And the 7-pin actually activates and runs this multifunction relay here. So if this don't work, this turns off several things. And I think what this thing is turning off, I think it's turning off basically, you know, a lot of the engine functions. Is turning off the fuel pump, it's turning off the injectors, and it just won't let the car start. And now it's throwing out all these funky codes. Now I'm getting a bunch of evap codes just from cranking it. I'm getting evap codes, but that could be because it's not firing. I don't know. Anyways, this is 5 minutes of rambling. I don't have any new enough relays. These are all 2099 relays. These won't do anything for anybody. These are all old stuff, 1.8 cars. So I just have to wait. Tomorrow I can get a fuel pump relay probably. Maybe I'll get lucky. And then it'll be just a fuel pump relay. But I think this board has burnt something else up in the system. It overloaded it and has burnt something else up. As you can see, that's a positive trace. Burnt the trace right off the board and burnt the whole section out of that board. So this, I think, has done some damage to something else. So it's either overloaded the fuel pump relay, which is a possibility, and just caused it to where it don't want to work no more, or it's overloaded the ECM and caused it to where it don't want to work no more. So either way, I got them coming. They're not that much money. I hate throwing parts of the car, but I don't have a $10,000 multimeter to hook up to it to check for, you know, injector pulse width and all this other stuff. And the guy I used to have access to, me and him don't see eye to eye anymore, so I don't even talk to him. Or that would be my way to get it looked at. So anyways, I'm on my own with this one.